Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to my Mars series. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at Mars in Capricorn, the Mars in Capricorn leader, as we describe the Mars in Capricorn leadership. Now, before we do get started, if you would like to know more information all about the Mars signs, the Mars houses, the Aries houses, the first house, and the Aries archetype, Aries season overall within astrology, then I have created an Aries season ebook. So if you want to pick up a copy of that ebook, I'm going to put a link to the ebook in the description box below so you can pick up your copy today. So with all of those introductions out of the way, Mars in Capricorn, let's do this. Okay, so what I want you to imagine is that the Mars signs are having a race against one another. So the first step in the Mars and Capricorn's process is going to be training right off the bat, okay? There's going to be this instant response from the Mars and Capricorn to get into training mode where they are prepared to put in as many hours as they need to, as many days as they need to, as many weeks, months, possibly even years, okay? If they need to put that amount of time, whether that be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years into this competition, and it's worth it to them, where they will feel a sense of purpose, a sense of duty, a sense of responsibility towards that particular race or competition, well, they are going to do the training necessary in order to take part, really looking at the Mars and Capricorn's lifelong goals or their ambitions or where they see their future headed. They're going to base more emphasis on their purpose, more emphasis on the status or the reputation that comes with it. The Mars and Capricorn strategy might not be so much based upon it being a quick race, you know, like a 100-meter sprint, 200 meters, but the Mars in Capricorn is willing to compete in a marathon. Okay, this is slower, really slower building energy, where the Mars in Capricorn has enough stamina and they have enough endurance in order to complete or compete in that race or competition. So if we were to bring this into a company or firm that the Mars in Capricorn works for, they might choose a role or position really based upon the sense of duty that it provides them with. They want to be able to assert themselves to the best possible standards that they see fit. Now, these standards could be based upon their own father's working mentality or drive, so that's a possibility, or it could be based upon the different authoritative figures that they have experienced throughout their lives. It could have been a teacher, for example, that the Mars and Capricorn experienced in school, or it could just be where they were expected to perform really, really well overall. So what the Mars and Capricorn might do in a particular company or firm is they're going to feel like their energy is purposeful, like it's structured. They want to use and assert their energy in that way where they can remain persistent towards that role or position. However, if their energy is not being used purposefully, okay, they might actually divert their energy into something that actually does. So let's say, for example, the Mars in Capricorn joins a certain position in work and they put themselves out there really quickly, like they assert themselves and they show initiative. They show initiative towards those authoritative figures, towards their boss, towards their managers. But if the Mars in Capricorn doesn't feel like they're being recognized, or if their abilities are being abused or taken advantage of, then the Mars in Capricorn is going to stand up and say, hey, I don't agree with that, or I think this should change. They may be adamant towards expressing how much they need extra training, for example, within their role. Seriously, whenever a Mars in Capricorn has set their eyes on the prize or set their eyes on a project that they want to deliver and complete, where it provides them with a sense of duty and purpose and responsibility, just watch that Mars in Capricorn just climb step by step throughout that process. They will calculate their every move, So how they use their energy and their time effectively, productively, constructively, practically. They're not going to base their decisions much upon the material and financial security like the Mars in Taurus has the tendency of doing. And they're also not going to be so much about critiquing their actions to get better results like the Mars in Virgo, but they are about controlling their actions so that they can remain consistent towards that goal, towards that purpose, towards that lifelong mission. So if it is that the Mars in Capricorn goes on to become a leader within a particular company or firm, they're going to make sure that they know the structure of everything. They're going to make sure that they know time management, how everything is organized. They're going to be very organized people. So let's actually say, for example, here that the Mars in Capricorn leader, they find their purpose in supporting their family financially. They are just going to work so hard towards providing for their family, seeing that by them doing that, that is their role, that is their position. Maybe it's that the Mars in Capricorn leader finds a purpose in a new project, so starting a new project. So if they do find purpose in that new project, they will most likely assert a lot of their passion and a lot of their drive into that project. Or if the Mars in Capricorn leader finds their purpose through a particular sexual relationship that they have with someone, well, they're going to build upon that very relationship. Now, of course, all of these things that I have discussed so far sound like admirable qualities. They sound like really positive qualities to the Mars in Capricorn. And yeah, sure, they're going to be highly driven and ambitious people. But the only thing here is that the Mars in Capricorn leader is still learning one or two lessons here when it comes to how they actually do achieve their ambitions. See, one of the key lessons that they are learning is actually learning to let go of control. The thing about Mars in Capricorn is that they can assert so much of their energy, so much of their passion, so much of their drive into their mission, into their purpose, that they might actually end up stifling other areas of their lives. For example, maybe the Mars in Capricorn forgets to give their mother a call for weeks on end to see how she is doing. Or maybe it's that they decide that, no, I don't want to go out with friends. It's just, what's the point? What's the point? What's the use? Or it might be that the Mars in Capricorn decides just to work. And this can also result in the Mars in Capricorn not giving another person the time of day to really get to know about their behaviors outside of work, so who they are outside of work. So it's really a good idea for the Mars in Capricorn leader to step back from time to time, okay, and realize that there's other things in life to enjoy. They're just adamant to finish. They're like, I want to finish this product and I have enough energy to do it that I can steadily go through this. But whilst they're putting so much of their energy into it, if somebody else, for example, comes at the Mars in Capricorn and disturbs them from their workflow or from working on that project, that Mars in Capricorn, they may get disturbed, they may get agitated, they may get frustrated because, hey, don't disturb me, I'm building over here. And this right here is an example of their control. They might even get to this point where they base all of their actions on their purpose, on their mission, literally just, oh, actually no, I don't want to talk to that guy or be in that relationship because this is my mission, this is my purpose, or no, I don't want to do that because this is my mission, this is my purpose. But they're not living for the moment then. There is a rigidness that can come with this energy where it can be to the point of just writing things off in a heartbeat. They're just so calculated in their actions. However, the most powerful thing about this is that the Mars in Capricorn is learning many lessons over time when it comes to the trials and errors of their actions. So for example, they might learn over some years, how to loosen up when it comes to sex, or just how to loosen up overall. but I think this is just something that they gradually build upon over time, and then they learn many things through those trials and errors, and through those trials and errors then they make more decisions, and then they learn that, oh my gosh, okay, so it's not a matter of just right or wrong, there's actually other possibilities here, there's other choices to make in life, and yes, this is my purpose, but at the same time there's other things to experience on this planet, there's other parts of this reality to explore. The Mars in Capricorn leader just really learns over time where to assert their energy, who to give their energy to, and by them doing that, they really learn a thing or two about the burdens or extra weight that they might be unintentionally or intentionally carrying. They're just really learning how to let things happen rather than feeling like they must remain in control all the damn time. However, it's also this control that is their strength, especially when it comes to the likes of management, business, and entrepreneurship. Take Gwen Stefani, for example, okay? Now, apparently, she is an aspiring entrepreneur to other people. She made a small empire for herself with her own fashion line. Another example here would be Walt Disney. Now, Walt Disney, he had his Mars in Capricorn as well, and well, if you just look at Disney and what it is today, well, you do the math, guys. Now, the Mars in Capricorn leaders, they might also be some of the most recognizable leaders of their time or within their chosen career. So you could say, for example, here that Steven Spielberg, who has his Mars in Capricorn, and then also Michael Mann, it could be suggested that these two gentlemen within film making and producing, they could be some of the most recognizable men. You might also say that Jenna Marbles, who has her Mars in Capricorn, she is one of the most recognizable YouTubers. Or take Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, for example. Both have their Mars in Capricorn. It could be suggested that they are some of the most recognizable twins. Now, these leaders are also not going to give up very easily either, and this gives them a huge advantage point. See, the thing about this is that many people will fall off if they don't see results, but the Mars in Capricorn mentality is they're not just going to give up. See, the Mars in Capricorn is just going to understand the importance of putting in the time, really putting in the hours if you want to have a result or an outcome. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is that the Capricorn energy can come with trial and error. So as the Mars in Capricorn leader is asserting themselves in the world and as they're taking action on things, they're going to learn a lot about their own limitations and their own boundaries and how they can overcome particular obstacles that limit them in any way. Now, with that in mind, they may use previous experiences as the foundation to learn from those experiences, and then moving forward, they'll know more what they want, and then also the foundation for them will be stronger because of the lessons that they learned from the previous experience. So, for example, if we were to look at Orlando Bloom, okay, so this is to do with marriage here. Orlando Bloom, he was married to Miranda Kerr, but now Orlando Bloom is dating Katy Perry. So they are together. But then also Katy Perry, she was married to Russell Brand, and that did not work out. But now Katy Perry is the one with Orlando Bloom. Another example is Brad Pitt, who was married to Jennifer Aniston, and now he's with Angelina Jolie. These are going to be ambitious, responsible, and disciplined leaders who will keep hitting audiences with new material or with new projects. And I was actually reading up on some actors who have starred in the most movies, and apparently Christopher Lee, who has his Mars in Capricorn, he's been in so many movies. Also, Robert Loggia has been in so many movies. And another person that springs to mind here as well is Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson has been in so many movies. And so from being in so many movies, it could be suggested that the Mars and Capricorn leaders, they are seen as the people who put in most of the time into their career or their work. There can just be something about the Mars and Capricorn's approach that keeps them on top of their game pretty much all the time. I mean, we have Nicki Minaj, Mars and Capricorn. We've also got Lady Gaga. And like I said, we've got Katy Perry. And when I typed into Google about, you know, the most recognized, influential artists of today, all three of these artists made the cut. Now, there's someone who I want to mention who has their Mars and Capricorn lastly here is none other than Alan Watts. Now, there's just a backstory to this because the thing about Mars and Capricorn energy is that they can just be going from achievement to achievement, from ambition to ambition, always hitting, striving for that next thing where they may not appreciate their moment in the moment. But you see, the thing about Alan Watts is that he did not become consumed by this gripping sort of sense of control and power that can come with us wanting to achieve in life. He basically influenced and still influences people today just to be okay with letting go and realizing that the only clock that is ticking is located within the human psyche. Overall, the Mars and Capricorn leader is going to be one highly disciplined, structured, and productive leader. And whilst, yes, they are learning a thing or two over their rigidity and how to loosen the reins just a little bit rather than being super controlling, well, it is also their control and their rigid tendencies that just might make them some of the most recognizable leaders. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes the Mars in Capricorn video as we describe the Mars in Capricorn leadership. Thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click the subscribe button, and I will be back with the Mars in Aquarius leader video very soon. Bye!